In the dynamic world of underground rap, one name has been steadily rising through the ranks since 2022, Glock 40 Spaz, an Atlanta-based artist that started making waves in his own neighborhood and eventually the internet scene with various music videos showcasing his street-style flows and aesthetic, but in combination with more dark plug beats than most artists in the subgenre of rap stray away from, causing him to stand out even more. In the past couple of years, after gaining initial traction online, he has released a few mixtapes that have propelled his career further every step along the way, including but not limited to Baby Whoa, Spaz and B, Don't Get Took Off 3, and his most recent album, Took the Biggest Risk, which some, including myself, believe to be one of the best projects in 2023, at least in regards to underground artists, all the while currently serving time in prison for an arrest back in August 2022. But instead of fading into obscurity as many artists in the past have experienced, his fan base has grown stronger and more influential than ever before. What sets him apart is not just his musical prowess, but also the unanswered speculation that swirls around him, especially regarding his potential record deal with Playboi Carti's infamous Opium label. In July of 2022, Glock 40 Spaz shared a cryptic message on his Instagram story that could be considered the ultimate dream for any underground artist. Opium Baby J, the alleged head A&R of Playboi Carti's Opium label, decided to send Glock a simple vamp emoji via direct message on Instagram. This seemingly insignificant event actually ended up sending shockwaves throughout the entire underground community due to the speculation that he might be signing to Opium. Because as we all know, Playboi Carti's track record of artists has been nothing short of undefeated. Every artist he co-signs essentially becomes an overnight success. And though the lore behind Playboi Carti's mystical release dates and potential collabs many of the time never come true, this theory actually seemed possible, given Opium Baby's previous history of orchestrating signings for Opium, including none other than Destroy Lonely a year or two prior. Soon after, Glock 40 Spaz continued to fuel the fan speculation by posting another Instagram story stating, "What if I told y'all I'm finna get signed? Would y'all believe me?" accompanied by the vampire emoji, which has become synonymous with Playboi Carti's image ever since Whole Lotta Red. On the other hand though, Glock 40 Spaz also refers to himself as a vampire in many of his song lyrics, so this cryptic message may not have had to do with Playboi Carti or Opium after all. But of course, the timing was all too coincidental, being so soon after the DM from Opium Baby. Regardless, the rumors persisted for months, and in September 2022, it was Opium Baby's turn to confirm such interest in signing Glock 40 Spaz, posting his now infamous tweet 00 Glock 40, essentially signaling that Glock 40 Spaz might now be Opium, similar to NBA Youngboy and Playboi Carti allegedly teaming up for a collab tape titled 004KT. Although it has yet to see the light of day. But this simple yet powerful message sent the Opium/underground community into a frenzy, with fans essentially interpreting it as 100% confirmation of Glock 40 Spaz officially joining Opium. After all, why would one of Playboi Carti's affiliates, within the most tightly kept cliques in the music industry regarding insider information, publicly co-sign an artist without any paperwork? It'd be giving out free clout. In fact, potentially at a price to Opium, considering what Glock 40 Spaz had to say afterwards. For reality often diverges from rumors, and fans soon discovered that Glock 40 Spaz was not, in fact, joining Opium. Shortly after the tweet, fellow Opium signee Homicide Bino, along with other affiliates, seemingly denied any confirmations that Glock 40 Spaz was signing to Opium in their replies on Twitter. This influenced fans to begin digging into Glock's past as to what went wrong. It seemed as if the agreement was already set in stone. Unexpectedly, videos of Glock 40 Spaz from the past dissing Playboi Carti started to surface on numerous occasions, whether it was through heated Instagram live sessions.
Carti a fake vamp, y'all. Just cuz, man. Cause we gotta be like, I ain't gonna lie, like, we can't nobody fuck with us, man. Hey y'all, bro, I'm telling y'all, bro, we need to be on some weird shit, some demonic shit. We on some real gangster shit, bro. You need to stop that vampire shit. He gay. He a drag.
Or diss lyrics in his music. It was now more clear to the public that Glock 40 Spaz actually had a distaste for Carti, and perhaps was never actually considering signing to his label in the first place. He could have just used the attention he knew he would receive for his own personal gain. For later that year, in November of 2022, Glock 40 Spaz officially announced that he inked a deal with Columbia Records. Unfortunately, laying to rest any lingering theories about his affiliation with opium. In the months following these events, while incarcerated mind you, Glock 40 Spaz doubled down on his anti-Carti sentiments and took aim at the entire opium camp. In May of 2023, Glock 40 Spaz conveyed a special message via a jail call on Instagram Live.
12 can't stop shit, nigga. Fuck Playboi Carti. Fuck Playboi Carti, nigga, you a hoe. Fuck Playboi Carti. Fuck opium. Fuck all that shit, nigga. Fuck homicide. Fuck all them bitch ass. Fuck what a nigga gonna do. Fuck what a nigga gonna do, nigga. Fuck Playboi Carti. We gonna beat y'all. Hey, whoa, you on live, whoa. We on live, whoa. Nigga mad he ain't get signed. Nigga, if we did get signed to Columbia, fuck opium. Fuck you come back, nigga. Stop playing with this shit. What next?
Come on, we turned down.
We turned that shit down, shawty. Nigga ain't want to sign that bullshit.
Further fueling the flames of his supposed hatred for Carti, Jay swiftly responded with the classic meme featuring Sauce Walker.
Shut your bitch ass up before I get to talking shit about you.
And the tension died down a bit with time, as Glock 40 Spaz frankly was in jail and couldn't get physical even if he wanted to. But the saga continued randomly on Saturday, September 16th, months later, when Glock 40 Spaz announced on his Instagram story that at 9 p.m. the following day, he would expose Opium Baby for allegedly being a rat. No one really knew the context, however. Could it relate to being a snitch in general, which has obviously been heavily frowned upon in the hip-hop community and could take down Playboi Carti and Opium? Or did it relate to the potential record deal with Opium that fell through with Glock 40 Spaz? Nonetheless, the timing was definitely impeccable, as the announcement came just days after releasing his latest mixtape. Jay retaliated once again, threatening to expose the receipts, or rather messages between the two in the past that could very well reveal what really happened, as far as even insinuating Glock 40 Spaz was just mad that he didn't make the cut. The multiple diss tracks and Instagram stories targeting Carti definitely didn't help his case either. And moreover, when time struck 9 p.m. the following day to expose Opium J for being a rat, Glock 40 Spaz unfortunately remained silent and still is yet to utter a word on the internet. However, I do have to admit that bringing attention to his social media while incarcerated with all these shenanigans could have tipped off the security of whatever facility he's located at and caused his phone to be confiscated. Although other fans speculated that Playboi Carti and or his team reached an agreement with Glock 40 Spaz to not expose anything, or rather stop clout chasing, or they make the call from inside to take him out or threaten him. Or perhaps Glock was only referring to Opium Baby as a rat for sharing his history of diss lyrics and videos to Carti, in turn canceling the entire record deal. I guess we won't know for certain until he's officially free and lets us know. But another perplexing theory that lingered in the underground community was why exactly Glock 40 Spaz had chosen not to sign with Opium. That is, if he was offered to in the first place. Could it have just been an issue with the royalty splits in advance? Since he was still a relatively small artist, he might not have received the number he was looking for from Opium. So he decided to go with the bigger advance from Columbia Records, who he ended up deciding to partner with. Obviously, if he had signed to Opium, his career would have essentially been a near 100% chance of success, at least in the short term. But after all, he did get the same type of attention from the feud with Jay, without even having to sign or share his royalties. Or it might be as straightforward as a personal vendetta against Playboi Carti and a desire to avoid any association with him. To add context, Glock 40 Spaz has revealed in a past interview that D Savage was his inspiration to start rapping. And as we all know, D Savage, for some reason, has had an ongoing one-sided feud with Playboi Carti for years. It's possible that, as a loyal fan of D Savage, Glock 40 Spaz simply couldn't align himself with Carti. Turning down an offer from the hottest label in the industry might seem unconventional, but in Glock's case, it might have paid off. Shortly after dissing Carti from jail, he received a cosign from the man himself, and D Savage hinted at future collaborations between the two on his Instagram story. Or, on a more serious note, Glock 40 Spaz's reluctance to join Opium could be attributed to gang affiliations. In his recent tape, Glock references the henchmen multiple times using phrases like play with the mob, they're gonna die by the henchmen, and as you may or may not know, the henchmen and Homicide, who Playboi Carti is heavily associated with, even signing 2 members, Bino and Michi, to his own record label, are opposing Atlanta gangs. While it's not confirmed to be the same henchmen, it is a reasonable assumption, especially being from the same city. And within this gang war, Carti has actually more recently involved himself blatantly dissing one of the henchmen's key members, Ola Runt, in his popular track Stop Breathing. Therefore, Glock 40 Spaz might simply have distanced himself from Carti due to street related issues. I mean, he's even used the same cover artist as Ola Runt for his mixtape Spaz and B, potentially showcasing some sort of affiliation or at the very least inspiration. Not to mention consistently labeling himself as the real King Vamp as of late that Carti obviously has already self-proclaimed. But in the grand scheme of things, it appears unlikely that Glock will ever collaborate with Opium or its artists due to the unresolved circumstances and ongoing feuds. Whether these disputes are rooted in serious issues or just another petty internet rivalry remains to be seen. Although with Glock 40 Spaz currently being locked up, it doesn't seem like the latter. Nevertheless, Glock has achieved the remarkable feat of declining the Opium cosign that nobody, at least to my knowledge, has ever done before, and somehow turning it into a positive. The question that remains is whether it was the right choice for his career long term. Only time will tell how this bold decision will impact his trajectory in the ever-evolving world of underground rap and into the mainstream.